The Ascend Tournament Series comes to you again. So many weeks of action. 7, in fact. You add on the playoffs, that's an extra week. It's been 8 weeks of action. And tonight, a champion will be crowned. A champion will be decided. The semifinals begins in just a few minutes here on the Sportiest stream. Welcome, everybody here. My name is Sporty FC, and joining me after a long hiatus, Panda. Welcome in. We've got 2 best-of-7 series on this one. Semifinals, and then the grand finals. Someone will become a champion.
Absolutely. I am definitely excited to be casting with you again, Sporty, and excited to be casting a semifinals and a grand finals match. You know, as I was talking to you before the series, both of these teams seem to be very evenly matched for each other, and both of them seem to have done very well during the regular season and also in their playoff semifinals, or not semifinal, quarterfinal match. So I definitely think that this is a match made in heaven for these two teams.
It is. It's one of those matches where you just expect it to happen. It's one of those things that can only happen in the playoffs as well. You have Skylight on one side, 7-0. Did not lose in the regular season, and coming to the playoffs, they didn't lose against Nebula. They 4-0 swept that team. On the other side, Milky Militia Rush, a 4-1 win over 100x35 team Evo. And they're also through, but the big storyline about this matchup is the fact that for both of these teams, they're not playing with the rosters they played with all season long. They're playing, in fact, with substitutes. Milky Militia Rush having to make some pretty recent changes, so did the Skylight, before this playoff circuit, make sure that they would be able to play here. And so for these teams, it's a really weird night. It's a really weird championship because these are not their usual rosters. They have to improvise on the spot.
Absolutely. I don't honestly know how this is going to go because, first of all, I'm not very, involved with either of these teams. I know a couple people from Milky Militia server. But I haven't been extremely involved with either of these teams. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like all these players still are going to be very good players. It's just going to be interesting to see how those substitutes affect each other, because some teams don't ever play with their substitutes. They kind of just leave them off to the sideline and then only play with them, use them whenever they are needed, and just don't get that chemistry down. So we'll have to see, which team vibes better with their substitute.
Yeah, and the thing about this is that the fact about the subs does favor Evolve Skylight here. They played their subs in the quarterfinal. That sub being Astro, who had an insane performance with Snickers and Borb, who Borb also came in as a sub, but he was around for the whole season. For Rush, their subs did not play for them in the quarterfinals. Have not played for them all season. Votic, Canine Skull, both playing tonight though, and that's because 2 of the players of Rush had power outages, meaning that again they were not prepared for this. So Rush, this is a real last-ditch effort for them. Make sure they stick around in here, but it is going to be a tough battle. Again, subs are going to be a big deal. Subs are going to be, a huge difference maker. And, well, we'll see how these subs work here. As a prediction poll is live, by the way, so get your votes on in. And again, while we're talking about that, might as well talk about the players here that have been important. I know I mentioned to you, Panda, here, that the aggression of some of these players is what's going to be the difference maker. On one side of all Skylight, they got Snickers. On the other side, Milky Militia Rush have Wesco Cinco and Irish Scream. Again, I don't think Irish is playing tonight, but I think Wesco is. He's a very aggressive player. They're going to need that aggression, especially with how good these teams have gotten.
Absolutely, and you're looking at the predictions right now, and so far it is 100% in favor in Milky Militia, which is definitely interesting because on paper it looks like Evolve might take this series a little bit quicker, or in the end maybe a game 6, game 7, just based off of paper and statistics. But right now channel points are favoring Milky Militia. So we'll definitely see if maybe that's a little bit of a viewer curse, or we'll have to see what happens.
Well, we'll see what these players predict so far, though. As you said, again, the prediction poll is favoring Milky Militia. People don't think this new, people actually think their subs are going to be able to make the difference. We'll see how it works. For now, though, again, a big matchup. We take a look at that bracket once again. On the other side of the bracket, Sam 1-0-0-0-0-0-0-1. I think I said too many zeros, but anyways, Sam is streaming Unleashed Gladiators versus Unknown Legion. Reminder, winner of that will be going to the grand finals. That will be on this stream later tonight, and we'll be seeing that one. That will be a big matchup because Unknown Legion gonna make the Cinderella story happen. Coming from the wild card, they're able to win. They didn't even win their match. They lost their match, I believe. Nope, they didn't. They did win. They did win their match. They won 4-2 actually. They definitely did win their match. And they haven't got the improbable win there. Again, definitely impressive from them. As another big thing to talk about, and I know I kind of forgot to mention this, very easily, but both these teams have tactical timeouts, meaning if they want to, they can call a 1-minute timeout in between games. That means they have 2 minutes to talk things out. These tactical timeouts are a big deal. We've seen teams use them. So far, they haven't changed the course of a series, but they have worked to reset momentum. And in a match this tense, this close, that momentum is going to be the difference maker. And those tactical timeouts are going to be crucial for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coming from a different league in Rocket Underground, we just finished up our season, and during the playoffs, every single series was a best of 7. And you would be surprised to figure out that there was only one tactical timeout ever used during any of the playoffs. And teams would go down 2 or 3 games and really be losing that momentum and not use that tactical timeout. And, it kind of bit them in the butt in the end because, you really want to use that tactical timeout when you have that chance to, take a breather, talk over with your teammates, like, hey, what do I need to do? What do you need to do different to maybe change the game up a little bit, or also to just kill momentum of the other team. Once a team gets rolling, they get the vibes going, they get the games going. It can be really hard to stop a team that's on a good roll. So just both teams need to make sure that, if they go down 1, 2, 3 games in the series, depending on where they are scoreline wise, that they have that tactical timeout to use.
And we'll see how things are going here. Again, as you said, a lot of teams this season actually haven't used it. I know in recent series we had Unknown Legion versus on the stream. Nobody tactical timeout for that. It ended up being a pro sweep. So, as you said again, tactical timeouts, they are useful, but so far again this season in the playoffs, these teams had them, and a lot of teams have used them, but I felt like they've used them kind of late, and we'll see if that makes a difference. As again, very important match as Evolve Skylight coming in and actually have Echoes playing today, not Astro like they did yesterday. So interesting changes. Another sub for Evolve coming in again, another one of those late subs I added on. So again, both these teams just trying to get comfortable in the position they are in. Now, again, a best of 7 series, Panda. Man, what a time to be an ATS fan, because we had a championship just just about a weekend ago, and well, now we have another championship here on this Monday evening. Reminder, all matches are best of 7, everybody in chat. And this is single elimination. You win, you move to the grand finals. You lose, you're out. A best of 7 series here.
Absolutely, absolutely. As right now we are just getting the players set up and in as players are joining now. So in a moment we are going to get into the gameplay, get into the action with game number 1 as we get in and get ready. I'm excited, Sporty. Game 1 of 7. We will see how this goes. Evolve Skylight and Milky Militia Rush.
Here goes Skylight coming out with the early aggression, and in comes Snickers! Goal 1 already, 5 seconds in, and the subs of Rush, well, I mean, the question in this game is, can they get used to this? And, well, they're not even being given a chance here. Skylight's already in the lead.
Absolutely, that was, an absolute great play coming out from Evolve Skylight already, getting that early aggression, really setting that tone early in the game. You don't want to, start off too slow and give the other team time to adjust or make any game plans. So making that early aggression is just really great for Evolve Skylight to set that tone.
Yeah, and if there's anybody who's good at making it, it's Snickers. He's already scored before, and he can definitely do it again. He had crucial goals in their last matchup. That 4-0 sweep over Nebula was not as easy as that 4-0 looks. That first game went to overtime. At least one of the other games was a 1-goal difference. I believe 2 of the other games, actually, were 1-goal differences. And again, this Skylight team so reliant on Snickers being able to lead the charge, but so far, sitting on the back line. Snickers gonna take the dribble out. Votek is waiting. Snickers still dribbling. Votek gonna get the block. Orb will come in, but Rush right now just trying to play damage control. Just trying to make sure that Evolve Skylight don't get another chance.
Absolutely. Again, we're seeing a very early high aggression from both of these teams. Hopefully, this doesn't turn too much into a ping pong match as Borb is trying to make sure that it doesn't. And Evolve Skylight, again, already 5 shots on the board. Milky Militia, they only have 1 right now, as that's a great passing play between Snickers and Borb. You really love to see it off the corner from Borb, middle to Snickers, jumps up, slots it right behind that last defender, and now it is 2-0 in favor of Evolve.
Yeah, and this is kind of the scary part about this matchup here for Milky Militia and their fans. They need to get used to it early. Again, these guys have not played on this team yet this season, and to now be thrown into the semifinals, both of the subs, and have to play here. Evolve Skylight, the big deal. Again, reminder, these subs are so new, they weren't even, listed on the roster until just tonight. And that's Snickers with his third. No, who cares about the sub from Rush? It's Snickers' game so far. Evolve Skylights are in total control.
Absolutely. And, this is kind of going out to all of those teams. Hopefully, any teams wanting to get, or any players wanting to get into these types of leagues, if you have a predetermined sub before playoffs and it's not just a last second, player that you can scrounge around and find, always play with your subs. Include them in scrimmages, include them in practices in case this ever happens. So you don't end up like Milky Militia, who almost got a 4th goal scored on them within the first 2 minutes, because you really need to have that chemistry between all of the players.
Unfortunately, again, for Rush, as I already stated, they added these subs very recently, literally tonight, as a last second. It was an emergency situation. You don't allow teams to add subs, in the middle of the playoffs, but this is just for them to even play tonight. It's a miracle they've been able to get here in the first place, but unfortunately for them, miracles don't happen often. Evolve Skylight is making that painfully obvious. If Rush want to take this series, it's going to require a lot more than just a miracle.
Absolutely. You see Evolve Skylight and how dominant they're being. I think it's just their nerves got subsided a little bit quicker, them thinking that they were the better player. Oh, if you're K9, you gotta score that. That was a very easy open net. May not have had a lot of boost, but that's where you quick shot it. Maybe a lack of comms, him not knowing if there's a player right on him, and that almost just bit Milky Militia in the butt right there. So you gotta keep those comms up, gotta let each other know if that, you have an open net or you have an open shot just like this off the post and it doesn't go in. So we stay for a 4-0 lead in favor of Evolve, and we will see where this develops.
Yeah, now, again, K9's goal really getting into that, evolving that aggression right now here for Rush. Yeah, I love that this team starting to grow out of that defensive stuff, starting to find offense, to fighting shots here on Evolve Skylight. But Evolve, they've dealt with this kind of aggression before. Just yesterday, they played against Evolve Nebula, and one of the scariest players on the field was Panda. Not the Panda in the booth with me, it's a different Panda. Again, a huge performance there, and well, they've been able to defend against really aggressive players here as Evolve still looking for chances. K9 Skull can't get it, but it will be off the sidewall. Evolve at defense, staying as strong as we've expected it to be, and as strong as it has been all season long. There's a reason why they're the #1 team coming into this playoffs, and there's a reason why they've kept themselves in that position. It's a pass in front. Borb will tuck it under, and Evolve Skylight add another. It's 5-0, and it's only game 1.
Absolutely, but in both of our times casting, I think we can both safely say that, game 1s, they're not necessarily flukes. They can definitely set the tone for the series in which team is going to be the more dominant team, but there are also game 1 jitters. Game 1s have definitely set the tone, but they have also definitely told false truths before, where you think, one team is going to go ahead in a series and they're going to absolutely dominate for the rest of the series, and then game 2 comes around, that team that lost game number 1, they get those jitters down, they calm down, and then they end up taking the series in like a 4-1, 3-1, or 4-2 fashion, absolutely turning it around. So just because Milky Militia may not completely come back in this game does not mean that they are completely out of the series by any means.
And I like it. That's a very good point you state there. Again, this is only game one. MMR still just trying to get things started. At the very least, they just need to learn what it's like to be as a team here, to get things sorted out. Again, this is an awkward situation for a lot of players. I think more specifically for Wesco, who, again, he's leading this team still, but this is a team of players that have not been on this team all season long. Now, they have to just get used to each other. In this short amount of time, they'll be here in these playoff matches. Looking for a goal here is Wesco, saved by Snickers. Of Skylight will clear. It's been a dominant Game 1 performance, but I don't know if anybody expected it not to be a dominant Game 1 performance with the situation MM Rush is in. Now the question is, can they recover for Game 2? Because right now in Game 1, Snickers specifically, but along with the rest of Skylight, laying down some heavy hits, and it's up to MM Rush here to bounce back.
Absolutely. Of all Skylight, that 6th goal, that 0-second goal passing play was the exclamation point on that game number 1, saying we are going to take this series and we are going to take it in a dominant fashion. So I definitely think that Skylight have set the tone. Milky Militia need to gather together. I would give it one more game, depending on how game 2 goes. If you lose that game, I would personally call that tactical timeout, reset, figure out who needs to do what different, or maybe what Evolve is doing and what you can capitalize on, because there's definitely something that, Evolve is doing that's just outpacing Milky Militia, but I still think that Milky Militia can outpace Evolve back, or maybe slow down that gameplay and make it a little bit easier to counterattack Evolve on such aggressive playstyles.
That is, yeah, and Evolve are such an aggressive team. The best way to beat them is just stop them from being aggressive. To put your hand up and to say no. That's going to be a tough ask here. As again, Snickers, and when you know the aggression he has, he showed it already in Game 1. He is not slowing down. It's something about Snickers so tough to stop is that he will just continue to play the offense his style. And for most teams, you can't stop him from doing it. You just have to mitigate the damage. And that's going to be a real tough pill to swallow here for MM Rush. Right now, again, they're still having to learn, and they're still having to get used to each other because, well, Skylight putting on offense, it's Borb with a shot, and that's under the crossbar. Another goal. It's 7 straight for Skylight this series so far. MM Rush still have not found their first.
That is rough to see coming from Milky Militia. Again, you can see the panics trying to set in on that defense. That was a nasty double commit coming out from Milky Militia on that defensive backline. You do not want to be doing that. So you got to calm down. You got to communicate with each other. One thing that helped my team in a different league, prosper is having that communications, those proper comms. It really pushes you so far as Evolve Skylight definitely have the comms and definitely have the offense on lock as Borg scores a 2nd goal, and we're only less than 40 seconds into game number 2.
Yeah, and that one hurts, I think, a lot more for K9 Skull. The last game for him had so many ups and downs. It was like a roller coaster. You had these high moments, and then they immediately followed by lows. You had 2 different open net chances he couldn't score on, plays on defense where you think he could have done better, and in the start of game 2, that is a mistake that it can only be put on his shoulders, and it's a sad feeling, especially in a situation like this in the playoffs. You want this team to do well, but it's so tough to do so when Evolve Skylight are going to take advantage of every mistake you make, and especially mistakes as open as those, as Equos. Now an infield pass. Cross board now to the side wall. Look in the midfield, Wesco Cinco clears it away. Equo will jump for it, and he'll hit it off the side, and Borb will look to hit it out. Evolve Skylight gonna hold down the pressure here, gonna hold down the defense. It has looked shaky at times, and specifically, you're gonna see a lot of K9 Skull already getting involved upfield. It seems like he's more comfortable playing offense than defense, since so far from us they haven't scored, but I don't think that's going to stay that way for very long.
Absolutely. As Borb trying to go for a little bit of an aerial play, gets the 2nd touch, going to try and continue the offense. K9 got a little bit of an awkward touch off that back wall, but luckily his teammates were able to collect there. Now K9 trying to transition maybe more into offense as Wesco Cinco tried to get a good shot off but was not able to do so. Now Evolve back on the counterattacks. They're doing what they do best. They let almost some almost shots go through, and then they just transition back into counterattack and back onto that offense. And it's just a game of letting the ball come to you and then being so incredibly deadly with that ball.
They have all Skylights. Fires have only had 2 goals so far. They might make it 3 here as that touch from Snickers gets away from him. And they've been deadly, as you've said. Here comes Rush looking for their first. That one's kept out by Equote. And Evolve Skylight still keeping the shutout so far. Infield pass, the Demo Borb shot. That will be saved by Votic. And Evolve Skylight nearly make it 3. Now Snickers. Canine Skull clears. Borb. Being to hit it to the back wall. Borb still on it. 17 boost. He's got the ground touch. Looking for a second in front for Equote. And that's another one for Skylight. 3 goals for team. 8 so far this series. And Rush still without an answer.
Absolutely. Evolve were just sharks in the water. They could smell blood. They could smell that goal from a mile away. And they absolutely scored it just off of a slight misdirection touch coming out from Borb. And then Equote able there to capitalize and make the final deadly shot. Again, Milky Militia Rush need to get some kind of response, some kind of life, as that double commit does not sprout much life, and neither does that awkward touch. But Borb, luckily for Rush, did not capitalize on that. It just feels like Evolve is just swarming and absolutely controlling every single part of this game. I would love to see ball and field possession for Evolve Skylight.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing. It feels like a fever dream for Evolve Sky. This is what they play for. This is the kind of play style they enact all season long. It's a reason why they're so tough to stop, even with, again, the fact they have to change their roster midway through the season. Their style is one that's so tough. It's led by Snickers, and it's led by holding the offense, holding the possession, holding the play. As Snickers double tap in front for Borb. Evolve Skylight at another. This is about to get out of hand for Rush.
Absolutely. If you are Rush, take that timeout right now. You have 0 goals right now. If this was a best of 5, which I know it is not, but you would be 1 game away from getting clean swept. That is not, you'd be congratulated on making the semifinals, but my, would that be such a disappointing way to end the semifinals. Ball in front of the net, though, for Rush, and they do end up getting their first goal. Thank the Lord for making me eat my words, as Rush have some sort of life and some sort of chance in this series.
9 minutes. It took them 9 minutes to get that goal. That's 9 minutes too long. Rush, they're going to need to find a little more of whatever that was from Votic to make things work. Because they are going to score, but they aren't going to score often. It takes them 9 minutes to get 1 goal. And Skylight just looking to go right back to business. Equote. Canine Skull trying to get around him here. Left in the corner. Equote. Still on it. Ball Skylight's eager to get a response to shut down this Rush collateral offense. Hasn't really made a difference as that's a miss in front. Oh, but Canine Skull can't shoot there. Evolve Skylight will want it gone. Milky Militia Rush looking for more offense. Snickers. Through the midfield, Canine Skull launches it down the field. Wesco waiting there, but here comes Canine Skull! And it will be another clear from Skylight, just keeping the ball away from their nets, but that defense still holding strong, even though they've given up a goal. It's going to take a lot more than 1 goal to keep Evolve Skylight down. Game 2 now, officially theirs. An incredible start to their night here. I mean, it doesn't get more dominant than this. And in the semifinals of all places, Evolve Sky are feeling incredible.
Absolutely, but as you saw later in that game, you started seeing chips, you started seeing kinks in that Evolve Skylight defense. Yes, they had 7 saves, but there were also a lot of other shots that aren't accounted for. Actually, only 1 other shot that didn't get saved, but you're starting to see that those kinks in that Evolve Skylight defense. If you are Rush, take a timeout right now. Be like, okay, this is how we need to formulate our offense, or maybe formulate better defense with that communications, and just trying to wear down Evolve Skylight. Yes, you're not going to get very far if you score every 9 minutes, but guess what? If you don't let in any goals for those 9 minutes, you end up scoring 1 goal and winning the match 4 minutes into overtime. So you just have, if you're going to score so few and far between, you have to have the defense to back it up.
We talk about also incredible matches on the other side. Reminder, Sam is streaming Unleashed Gladiators Unknown at Legion. Right now, Unleashed, who are again trying to make that Cinderella run, are about to lead 2-0 in the series. They're leading 3-1 at the end of game 2, so that Cinderella story has continued, and Unleashed Gladiators, well, they might themselves also be en route to a sweep here, as Rush didn't take the time out, didn't decide to use it, instead used a whole minute in between games to talk things out. Going into game number 3, Evolve Sky is still again in a dominant position, but Rush have been able to unlock things for a lot of teams. It takes about 2 games to realize the other team's playstyle. Rush, is this enough time for them, or do they need more? Here comes Wesco! That one cleared wide by Echo, and already Rush looking a lot better than they have in games 1 or 2.
Absolutely. That's very good starting offense coming out from Rush and coming out from Wesco Cinco. Like you were saying, he is such a strong offensive player. Ball Skylight trying to continue their defense though, but back to what I was saying, Wesco Cinco, you were saying, is such a strong and powerful player on offense. You haven't really seen that much in this series. So if you're Rush, you have to make him come alive, as you have to make that defense come alive, or Borb is going to absolutely eat your net alive off of a great redirect pass coming from Snickers.
And that is a beautiful pass from Snickers. I mean, I've seen this guy do some pretty incredible things, but in the playoffs, there's a lot of pressure on that. That is one of those touches where you go for it and you think, maybe I can get it. Snickers knew he had that one, even from the start. An incredible match, an incredible performance, and that is beautiful from him here, and he's still napping info past the board, off a back wall looking for air quotes, and K9 Skull will save again. Snickers starting the offense for Evolve Skylight, and Borb and Echo, I mean, they're happy to follow up because Snickers, he's got success, he's got plays, he's got another pass, and that one from Echo just goes wide. Follow up from Borb, saved by Votic. Snickers causing mayhem in this blue half of the field.
Absolutely, and if you are Rush, you are definitely on the back foot now. You definitely have all the cards in your hand, ball in your court. You have to make some kind of offensive play now, here and now, if you want to stay alive in this series. Follow up play off of Votic pass. I think he was going for the double tap, but the follow-up shot from Wesco Cinco does end up working in the end, as Evolve Skylight, their defense showing some signs of holes in it.
Yeah, maybe some cracking. I mean, when you've been playing this style for a long time, at some point, Rush are going to start to realize how to play against it. But Skylight, not giving a chance! That one from Snickers! Gets through them all! Sometimes the best move is to do nothing at all! A brilliant fake to get past everyone!
Absolutely. And I think Wesco Cinco or K9 accidentally touched that and redirected the ball as a little bit of an accidental own goal there. But Wesco Cinco going to try and get payback, as that's a great 50 dunk right in front of Evolve's net. But it doesn't end up going in, so we stay at that 2-1 scoreline with 3 minutes left. This is still much better gameplay coming out from Rush. They now have a goal, and they're only down by 1 instead of down by 4.
Yeah, and I think they'll be pretty happy with this, even if they don't get the win. This is a much stronger performance for them, although, admittedly, for their chances to win the series, a win feels almost necessary at this point. They've been having such a rough go at this one. They really can't allow to lose this one, as Snickers goes off the post. Rush panicking on their goal line, and that panic can really hurt them. But K9 Skull race on the field, dunk on the last. This one's rolls the back wall, second touch. Borb will race his way there, and Evolve Skylight will prevent that play from becoming anything worse. In fact, they're going to get offense from it too. Evolve Skylights, probably thanking their lucky stars, their defense has held on just enough, just by a hair.
Absolutely. If you're Evolve Skylight, though, you gotta, take this wake-up slap from Rush. Maybe not. I was gonna say wake-up slap on the offense, but if you're gonna make plays like that as your Rush, then maybe there's no wake-up slap needed, as that is a very unfortunate own goal coming from K9 into the back of the Rush net, now down by 2 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that's about the last time you want to have one of Lowe's plays happen. An own goal in a position that was quite defendable.
No!
K9 almost did it again. Here's this one in front. Votic will save, but he's almost hit another own goal here. And again, for K9's goal, these highs and lows from him. You know, we've seen him do some incredible things this series so far to keep his team in it, but at other times, he does things like that, and those plays have really definitely been the crux of, a crux of one of the reasons why this Rush team has just been doomed from these first couple games against Skylight. They still have a chance, though, but it's going to rely on them getting offense, being consistent, with great shots. Voter, K9's goal, that one will be cleared away. Rush, that offense, it's got life, but it doesn't have enough of it. There's still need to find more.
Absolutely. And Borb, oh my god. You are going to just absolutely score that right as Sporty transitions over to me. Great little back arc there off the pass from Ekwo. Now this is a similar scoreline to game number 2. Rush, we were congratulating them for not being so far into the offensive hole and into the scoring hole, but now they have ended up just where they were not too long ago, just about 8-9 minutes ago.
And while they have been scoring more, the defense still hasn't been able to keep out Skylight, hasn't been able to put a hand up to Skylight, and well, they're still searching. Credit to Rush, but this evolved Skylight team, they know what they're doing, and they're doing it very well. This is why they've been so dominant this season. This is why they've been so strong, and for Milky Militia Rush, it already felt kind of doomed starting off today with the knowledge that they'd have to play subs. And well, it's only gotten worse for them. You think it may be bad for one team. Is it ever usually this bad? So many goals, against them. It was 5-0, 4-1, 4-1. Evolved Skylights, they're not even done this game. They're looking for another one just to make things even worse. I mean, you thought Game 2 was bad. Game 3 could be an even worse deficit for them, and well, that's pretty tough to do with Skylight. It's open for Ekwo. He's going to take this one, and it is 5-1. It is a tougher deficit here for Rush. How many goals is it? 14 goals to 2 so far? Evolved Skylights have been absolutely dominant everywhere on offense.
Absolutely, and again, if you are Rush, you cannot lose a 2v1 with 2 defenders right in front of 1 offender. You can't lose that 50. You can't go for those double commits. This is supposed to be a Champ 3 area, so you gotta start acting like that Champ 3 defense. You gotta communicate. You gotta talk to each other. As Evolve going to take game number 3, quadruple match point for Evolve Skylight. Rush really have to change something.
Yeah, they've already called that change. Even before the game ended, Cinco let me know they are taking their tactical timeout, so we'll give them a full 2 minutes to talk things out. That will mean they'll have the minute here in between games, plus an extra minute as well, a tactical timeout here from Rush. And for Panda, although I think we both agree it might have been a bit late, it's better late than never.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, if you're Rush, you could just decide to never take that timeout and just admit that, okay, this series is over. We can't reverse sweep these guys. So it's good to keep your head high and try and take a step back and be like, okay, for half of this game, it was a 2-1 scoreline. At one point, we were tied with these guys. So it is absolutely possible to come back in this game and to come back in this series.
It definitely is. And, this dream, we've seen things like this happen before. Trust me, this stream has seen a best of 7 reverse sweeps without tactical timeouts, in fact. But with it, see, that should make things technically even easier for them. Reminder, Skylight have their own, so they have that advantage now in the tactical timeouts as well. You don't want to be the team to use it first. But for Rush, their hands are tied here. They have to do it, and just to keep their season alive. As on the other side, on Sam's stream, the series scoreline right now, 2-1. Unknown Legion looking to make a response here against Unleashed Gladiators as they go into game number 4.
I really hope Unleashed takes that series because, looking into how they played throughout the group stage and also how they played throughout the playoffs, like you were saying, there definitely is some sort of Cinderella story there. So it would be amazing to see them make it all the way to the finals. The way that this series has been going, if Evolve end up taking this series, I have not seen Unleashed play, but the absolute dominance that is their offense, unless Unleashed has some kind of secret, hidden power against Evolve, I just see Evolve taking that series as well.
Well, we'll see if that does happen. For now, though, that timeout is over. It is done. Rush have had a full 2 minutes. And, well, now they hopefully have been able to talk things down, get themselves back to a comms level, because this series, it is, for them, on the brink of elimination. A 3-0 series lead for Evolve Skylight. This is it for Rush. This is their last life. If they can't win here, their season is over, their tournament is over. And Evolve Skylight, if they can win, they're going to the Grand Finals, and that is about as bad of a start as it can be. The first thing Rush do when they come back is immediately give up a free one to Evolve Skylight.
Oh no, K9, you can't be making that kind of mistake, but I see what they were going for. He was going to try and control that throughout the corner, maybe grab boost or something, or maybe even pop it up to make it a harder shot off of that fake kickoff, but it just didn't work. He chipped it way too hard off the back of this car, so it was just a free open net for Evolve. And if you are Evolve, that is absolutely how you want to start this game. And that ball just barely does not go into the Rush net. It was floating there for a little bit, and they're still going to try and continue that offense as the ball keeps getting closer and closer to the Rush net, but it does not go anywhere. There's a small double commit coming out from Rush on that offensive line. May contribute to a counterattack, but Voltic is there and back in order to save the day and keep Rush in this game.
Voltic clears it out. Rush, Milky Militia looking for any play on offense. Skylight not letting them. The midfield. Equote. K9. Still K9 Skull. Still K9 Skull. The dribble. The pitch! My goodness! That bounces in! Milky Militia Rush pulls a rabbit out of their hat! This is magic here on Utopia Coliseum!
I don't know if it's initially intended for it to do that pinch, or maybe if it was just a flick over the last defender, but either way, that is a great way to come back into this game and to get tied in this game if you are wanting to stay alive in this series. But Borb trying to go on the counterattack, and Voltic with the own goal. Every time it seems like it might be going up for Rush, someone just has to make an own goal, or in my words, an own pass from the case of K9 in that first goal for Evolve.
Yeah, really, it has been Milky Militia Rush who have been their own worst enemies so far tonight. They have been their own worst. Oh my goodness, that almost goes in off of Echo. We almost saw another one go in for these teams. At this point, everybody seems to be susceptible to scoring on their own net as Wesko Cinco of Aqua. Voltic the shoot! It's a tie game! Milky Militia Rush brush off the mistake, and it's Voltic who forces that one through.
That is absolutely amazing coming out from Voltic there. If you are Rush, I think you need to start relying on Voltic. I know you were talking about Wesko Cinco being that great offensive man, but Voltic seems to be the one with the mechanics and the one with the offensive prowess, as he has put on a lot of offensive pressure for Rush, and I would love to see him be awakened and be used to his full potential.
Yeah, I mean, for Rush, they're going to need more offense somehow, some way. Voltic could be that player to unlock it, but so far, Skylight looking in the midfield. K9 Skull will clear, running out of boost. Snickers will be first to it. He's got the mechanics here. Off the ceiling, he's got it! The dribble! The drop down! Snickers! Out of this world!
That is absolutely amazing coming out from Snickers. Oh my god, the fake. I don't even know what that was. That was like an air dribble, but not into the double tap ceiling shot. Thingy-mabob, as that is definitely amazing shot and the exclamation point you want if you are Evolve Skylight to go up in this match point.
3 minutes to go. Already we've seen goals unlike any other so far this season from these sides here on Utopia Coliseum. Evolve Skylight looking for more. Milky Militia Rush, we've seen them answer. Like I do it again. This one in front. It will be panic, but it will not go in the way for Skylight as Voltic. The dribble one-on-one. Gets over, going to the net. Off the back, will Wesko. In front, Echo will clear. And now here comes Sky the other way. K9 Skull won't get it. Echo's in front. Players there, but Wesko Cinco will clear. Votic sends it away. Milky and Militia. One more offense. Votic goes a chance. Off the back wall. This one bouncing for K9 Skull. He can't get there in time. And Evolve Skylight will want it gone. More from Rush. More offense coming. But they can't break through. The Skylight defense stands in their way.
Absolutely. And I do love what I saw from Borb there. You know, if you can give any tips to champ players, is you don't always have to clear the ball unless it is absolutely necessary, unless all of your team is low on boost and you need to reset after an offensive play. But if you're good on boost, then just take your time, control the ball, hold the ball, and I assure you, if you can do a dribble or a flick or even a 50, it will lead to a lot of better offensive opportunities, as this offensive opportunity floats in front of the Rush net, but it does not go into the back of their net, and now is right in front of the Evolve Skylight net, but does not go anywhere.
Votic, multiple saves this game, keeping Rush and their spirits alive here. But still time running out for them. They need a goal. They need a soon. Aqua will give it to them! Almost Skylight with an insurance lead! Aqua jumps! He's up so fast! And of all Skylight's pace will outbeat Milky Militia Rush this time!
Absolutely. That is an amazing shot coming out from Ekwo. And Evolve Skylight now going up by 2 with 1:10 remaining. Maybe going up by 3 depending on how this play goes with Ekwo. Pass middle to Snickers. Snickers with the shot saved by K9. But now Rush really have the pressure put on them as they need 2 goals. Make that almost 3. No save from Wesco Cinco. But no one on the counter attack. Passing play going wrong now in the hands of Borb. Borb going to try and get that middle slight dribble. Ekwo gonna hit it under the last defender. Make that lead into 3 with 41 seconds remaining. Evolve is on fire.
Evolve Skylights! Boom! Again and again and again. Milky Militia Rush now forced to overcome it over and over, and it just won't work for them. Skylight have seen this play style before, and they know how to counter it. Still, they want more. Ekwo, the dribble, the fifth reset. Borb will hit it away. Evolve Skylight, this point just trying to waste time. The finals within their reach. They just need to hold out here for 30 seconds more. Wesco, Ekwo wants to clear. This one in the midfield, miss from Votic. K9 Skull has it. The control, but Snickers will keep it away. And Evolve Skylight looking to hold this defense down. Snickers with a clear. Evolve Skylight down the field, and for Rush, their season coming to its close. Ekwo wants one more, and he will find it. A hat trick for Ekwo. The finals now secured for one of these teams. Skylight will be moving on. A 4-0 sweep over one of the most dominant sides in the Ascension Cup.
Absolutely. That is definitely how you want to end this semifinals match and move on to the finals in a 4-0 fashion. K9's going to get one more goal, but it's not going to matter anymore. They still need 3 in 3 seconds. They cannot score that fast. I am sure of it. And Ekwo really proving himself as that necessary sub and that key in Evolve Skylight's plan. You know, you see how Evolve Skylight as a whole have been playing together, and you would think that they've been playing as a team together this entire season, but this has just been a recent change, as you have mentioned. And so Ekwo really fitting that role perfectly in the Evolve Skylight's offensive dynasty.
That is that 4-0 sweep for them. As said, this team in Evolve Skylight, I will mention, they are no strangers to winning, and they might do it again. They just recently won a league and LOS champs, so these guys, again, they know what it's like to be first place. They can almost taste it on the other side on these Gladiators in game number 5 against Unknown Legion. And they are leading 3 games to 1, 1-0 inside that first minute. So Unleashed Gladiators could potentially make that Cinderella story happen for them here, as Unknown Legion look to fall to them. And well, that would be an incredible finals if these two teams are the ones to make it out together. But for now, though, just gotta talk about this series, Evolve Skylight. The better team here, they had that, you know, again, it's unfortunate for Rush. They had to play with their subs tonight in a situation that they didn't predict. They couldn't have predicted. For Evolve Skylight, that offense still as strong as it's ever been, and is going to be a real threat in that final series.
Absolutely. But, you know, as you say that, So did Evolve Skylight. I mean, Evolve Skylight maybe had to play with one less sub, but they still had to play with a sub and Equo. And, I think if Equo was on that Rush team, I think this would have been a bit closer of a series because Evolve they absolutely dominated Rush in this series. And Equo was a very key player in that throughout the entire series. He did amazing on that offense, hit some really nice shots, and meshed really well with Borb and Snickers. Maybe not as many passing plays between them, but still just fitting that offensive style very, very nice.
And we'll take a look at our playoff bracket. I know there's not much really to add to this one, but the fact that that other semifinal is still underway, but oh, Skylight now in a great position. They have their chance now to win the whole thing here, to win that championship. They've got to the grand finals. It's been a 4-0 sweep, followed by another 4-0 sweep. They're looking just to take down everybody cleanly here, and, well, their playstyle definitely argues that of all Skylights. Only one match to go, and, well, we'll be waiting to see who their, opponent will be. Whether they'll be Unleashed Gladiators or Unknown Legion.
Absolutely. As I am definitely intrigued to see how that series will go, and I'm intrigued to see how Unleashed will be doing. And I think that it will be a very interesting series because I don't know the playoffs of Unleashed Gladiators. So maybe they can fight back a little bit more against that evolved Skylight offense and maybe make them think twice before they go for the shots that they've been going for this series.
Yeah, well, for now, again, we'll have to wait until that happens. Evolve Skylight, again, are one of your finalists. We'll have to wait on the other one to be determined, but until then, we'll be off to a quick break. Once we have things confirmed, you'll see it pop up on the stream. You'll see us start that countdown. We'll be back very soon, as soon as our finals is confirmed. For now, though, we'll be off to a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey there, everybody, quick announcement. Unleashed Gladiators just won their series 4-1. You'll be seeing them up in the grand finals very soon. Grand finals. It's one match. It's one series. It's one event. Only one team can win. Only one team can become the champion, and only one team will be able to do it here. Evolve Skylight, dominant all season, have not lost yet. Unleash Gladiators, a run through the wild card, a Cinderella story still not complete. Whose season will end at the pinnacle here, at the ultimate reward? Whose season will be the one on top, will be the one remembered? Stories are made, but stories can also end. Whose story will end off this season as the champion? It's time to find out. Welcome back to the Spodia stream.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for having me again, Sporty. I am very happy to be joining you for this grand finals match. I think it is going to be a great match as UNLS Gladiators making that Cinderella run, or aka Unleashed Gladiators, making that Cinderella run all the way from the 4th seed wildcard team all the way here to the finals, and a pretty convincing semifinals match against Unknown Legion. They were not the favorites in that match. So to see them win and make it to the grand finals against all odds is honestly amazing. And then do not forget Evolve Skylight. They went absolutely ham in the group stage. They went absolutely ham in the playoffs. Quarterfinal match 4-0 against Evolve Nebula, 4-0 against Milky Militia, which was just streamed here. And now they are in the grand finals. We need to see if Unleash can stop the absolute powerhouse that is Skylight.
Yeah, and this is where seasons really are remembered. This is where seasons are completed. Evolve Skylights, no strangers to winning, no strangers being champions. They've done it so many times before. But on the other side, this is for this Unleashed side, to say that to get here is a miracle, honestly, might be not saying it enough. They were not supposed to even be at this point. They, in the regular season, went to the wild card. A rough season, a record that was 3-4. Quite a rough record for a team to now be in the championship. It is saying something. Reminder: one of those losses did go against Skylight. These guys have played each other before. Here, Unleashed Gladiators did play against Skylights in week 5. A 3-1 loss though, and they're gonna hope that that series won't be the same again. That they this time are now prepared, and with how the results have looked, I would have to agree with them. I think they are prepared to be here to face off against Skylight, and maybe will be the first team and will be the only team in this tournament who can actually take them down.
Absolutely. I mean, kind of taking this off of Ascend tournament. Recently, there was a community pro player tournament for Bandit on Wheels, and Luminosity Gaming making a lower bracket Cinderella run all the way from lower bracket round 1 all the way to the grand finals and taking home that trophy in the grand finals, always with that one life left. So, you always can keep going no matter how low you start in this tournament, in the series. No matter where you are, you can absolutely come back and make the most of where you are.
See who can do it here again. That night has been insane. These are our rosters. Who on Unleashed will be playing tonight? It looks like it's gonna be Venom, Chills, Squillia, Mir, and what a grand finals roster that is. Really, Vegas couldn't get much more hype than this. This is a championship match. This is one series to determine your whole season. It rests on this. And we've seen all these players, on these teams have their clutch performances. Who here tonight will be able to play clutch in the ultimate pressure? Because we haven't really mentioned it too much. There's a lot of pressure riding on this for both these teams.
Absolutely. And looking at these players, I have seen a couple of these players actually play on UNLS in a different league. And so I'm interested to see how they will play in this league, because I don't think I've seen them on a team together, but I have seen them play, and they are great players. And now knowing how Evolve Skylight play together, I definitely think that this should be a match that I could see going to a game 6 or even a game 7.
It could be. We've only had one series actually go further than a game 5 so far in this bracket. That was that quarterfinal match where Unleashed Gladiators got their first upset win against the number one overall, the number one team from Group A in 5CE Dream Team. Again, Skylight are the number one overall team. They came out of Group B. Both these teams came out of Group B, meaning they would not be able to play, face her unless they both got to the grand finals, and that just so happens to be where we are, and both these teams clamoring to get this thing going, and I think we should oblige. I think we should start the series here, a best of 7, one match, one series. As I've said before, this is where champions are made and champions are crowned. Above Skylight, they have been unstoppable. Unleashed Gladiators, a run that nobody expected. But this is the final chapter. This is the end of the story. And this is the Ascend Tournament Series. This is the Ascension Cup. And this is for everything. Evolve Skylight on the blue, Unleashed Gladiators on the orange. A best of 7 series. A champion will be crowned at the end of it.
Absolutely. School Yum going for the double tap to start out the game for Unleashed, and it almost went in, just barely not. That is a great way to start out this game, number 1 in the grand finals. That is absolutely how you want to start this out. And Equal trying to get that counter attack, but it does not go in. This is definitely 2 teams made in heaven, both of them very offensively handy. And now we will have to see who has the better offense, or in this case, who has the better defense.
Oh, maybe right now, Unleashed getting tested. That's falling in front. Equal's got it. Oh my. That got about as close as it could get. It bounced along the goal line. Venom had a piece, but it wouldn't be enough. It trickled its way in, and Skylight with goal 1. And man, already a flair for the dramatic.
Absolutely. This is great so far to seeing game number 1. If there was just a second longer, if that ball was just 1 mile an hour slower, it would have gone in favor of the Gladiators to be able to save it out. But unluckily for them, it did not. But on the counterattack, Squill is trying to make sure that they get that goal back, but it just gets sent away. Now Chill's trying to go on the attack, but it gets sent away by Snickers. Snickers trying to put a quick shot. Dips out over to Equal off backboard. No one there for the follow-up. Squirrel Yum trying to get the follow-up shot. It's high. Double tap. Chills with the follow-up. Bar down. Chills with the counter attack response. 1-1. 3:46 remaining.
And already these teams, they're showing you why they've been so good. They're showing you why they've been so strong. It's because their offense, it has been one that's been so explosive that can just attack at any moment. And for both these sides, Skylight, Gladiators, on offense, that's going to be a real calling card throughout this series. Who's going to be able to get off to a start they want to be off to?
Absolutely. And if you are these teams, you got to respect each other. You gotta just realize how well both players both teams are playing against each other, and I'm definitely excited to see how both these teams play, as now we're getting a little bit physical. Shot towards the evolved net, but it gets sent away.
Equote, Chills in the midfield. Unleashed Gladiators gonna push their way up. Venom shot there, front post and wide. Unleashed Gladiators close on that chance. Nearly was a game lead for the Wolf Skylights. Definitely their toughest match so far. And for them, they haven't been able to have a massive challenge so far. All these Gladiators are definitely giving them one, though, here in the grand finals. And right now, they're on the verge of taking a lead in this game. This offense from Unleashed just suffocating Evolve Skylight. And Evolve Skylight, while they are desperately trying to get this ball out, they just can't seem to find a way to do so. This one in the midfield, Squilliam. That one goes wide. Unleashed still hunting around the nets like sharks, hunting for blood. But they haven't been able to strike on that evolved net just yet. Skylight's defense, as it has so many times before, is keeping them in it.
Absolutely. Equal with the shot. It just goes wide, but Board with the follow-up also wide. Snickers with the fake doesn't go in, and so Chills is able to clear it away, and they will stay down or stay tied. But Equal with the double tap attempt, it goes off the post. Snickers with the follow-up shot. Oh my god, this is just follow-up shot after follow-up shot. Both teams trying to suffocate the defense and trying to do as many threatening follow-up shots as possible, as now the Unleashed on the counter attack, but the ball got sent away. Snickers trying to do something with the ball, get a little fancy with it, maybe pop it up for a teammate. Equal up, going to try and get it middle for Borb. Borb with the shot, but it's just too weak. Venom easily able to clear that away, but Snickers with the follow-up does not go in, but off of Chill's defense, and now clear ball all the way towards the blue end, but Borb gets a demo. Chills with the shot, but it gets set away. Both of these teams definitely being very threatening on offense. I think this is going to be a very nail-bite series.
Yeah, it has been that way, and it looks like it's going to continue that way. This game one is really just for both these teams to flex their offensive control. How are they able to do it? And the funny part about it is both teams have won,
no!
but that's a big mistake! A giveaway! A blunder! And Chills will capitalize! Unleash Gladiators with a gift in front of the Evolve Skylight net!
That is just deeply unfortunate to see out of Equal. I was hyping him up and making him seem like the best player on that Evolve Skylight team because he seemed so, and just a slight blunder on the side of him. You know, even world champions have made blunders before. You just got to pick your head up and not take it too personally. Move on and be the better player as the series moves on. But Unleashed wanting to continue their offense. Oh my god, I'm trying to inhale and cast super excitedly at the same time, and my body just cannot keep up with it.
Yeah, no, this pace, it is that fast. It is that tough to keep up with. You know, it's tough to really recall everything that's happening because both of these teams are playing as fast as they possibly can. They want to outpace the other. They want to be the bigger and faster team. And again, it's just been a stalemate. It feels no one's really been able to truly take control. What is it, Panda, that you think will really separate these teams? What have you seen so far in the season from these sides that you think will be the difference maker when they play? Because so far, it's been back and forth. And nobody's been able to win. On Gladiators, though, with a 1-goal lead, though, hoping this game will end. Skylight, gonna keep it in the midfield. This will hit the ground. And while these guys will take game one, it was a goal off of a mistake. What do you think these teams are going to look at going into game two to try to improve on what they've done here in game one?
You know, I still think that this is going to come down to the defense. I mean, both offenses just incredibly evenly matched. I mean, going shot for shot, pace for pace. Evolve having 11 shots. Gladiators actually only having 5, which seems a little low based off of, you know, the type of offense that I was seeing from Gladiators. But, you know, it happens. Maybe not all of them were extremely on target, but Gladiators obviously showing that they had the deadlier offense. I still think it's going to come down to that defense. Who's going to make that first mistake, like Ekwo accidentally just misredirecting that in front of his net? I think it's just going to come down to small defensive mistakes like that.
Yeah, we'll see if it is those small mistakes that make the difference. And both these teams are going to be in a lot of pressure, a lot of, you know, questions here. Coming into this grand finals, there's going to be mistakes. It's going to happen. But these teams need to be able to prevent it, and when it does happen, they need to be able to attack because of it. They need to be able to shut it down. Unleash Gladiators do take game one, but as we said, it's mistakes that caused it. You know, these offenses have been strong, but that defense has been stronger. Someone has to change something. Someone has to be able to adjust and really make the difference, because so far, if it goes this way, it's going to be a series that really you can't call one team or the other.
Absolutely, as this is starting out as a stalemate, both sides already trying to put on quick shots, and there's another shot coming out from Gladiators over on the Evolve net, and now it's open again. Chill trying to put on another deadly shot, but it gets saved away. Venom trying to continue that deadly attack, but it does not go very far. Chill's air dribble over one, just need to get rid of that pesky last defender, but Unleashed not able to do so. Chill's shot down. Almost able to get that redirect with his teammate, just slightly off, but Unleashed definitely on the offensive attack early in this game.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with that, as Unleashed swaying back, seeing and getting their chances. They're not overcommitting, though. That's the big thing. That's making things tougher for Evolve Skylight. They are trying to have Unleashed push more players upfield, but Unleashed just aren't doing it. They aren't overcommitting. They aren't rotating improperly. They're rotating perfectly well. And for Skylight, that's a tough pill to swallow. Now, this one, for Squill One, it's open, it's in. There's goal one, Unleashed Gladiators with an immediate turnaround in the midfield. One challenge makes the difference as Squilliam dunks out Snickers, and the open nets there is easy for him to take.
You know, I think if you're Skylight, you got to get out of that mentality, that headspace that you're still facing. What was the team from last match? I am so
Militia.
sorry.
MM
Rush. I deeply apologize. It's been a long night for me, but you got to stop thinking that you're facing Rush. You're not in the semifinals anymore. You can't keep pushing up that hard and expecting to not be punished. This is the grand finals. This is a team who has fought back from the wild card and from being the 4th seed, beating the 1st seed in their group. So you gotta stop trying to overcommit and thinking that you're gonna get away with those unpunished.
Right now, well, Skylight still have not been able to have a real peek at offense just yet. Unleashed Gladiators consistently through the midfield just shut them down before they can even get things started. Skylight pushing, but it's still just kept away in the midfield. And for Unleashed Gladiators, this is a playstyle that's not going to be high scoring, but it's one that they'll have complete control over. And that's a lot scarier than scoring a ton of goals. Because for Skylight, they can't score. They're in a position where they cannot get goals because Unleashed Gladiators won't let them have goals. And that is a position that's even worse here in the finals, because in the finals, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-goal difference or a 1-goal difference, it's still a game win. And for Unleashed Gladiators, they're just looking to make this as consistent as for them as possible. And right now, that's because their midfield has just been unbreakable.
Absolutely. Now Snickers on the offense trying to get their first offensive peak. It swings back into the middle for them. Now follow-up attack, but Chill's easy save out to the corner. Chill's going to try and control the ball with Snickers. Gets 50'd by Borb, but still gets control of that ball. Flick over one defender, now trying to steal their boost. The ball floats in the midfield, but Snickers fortunate 50 in favor of him. Chill's trying to redirect that back over to the side of Evolve, but does not go very far. Borb with a follow-up shot just goes high, and Equo not able to make connection with the balls. Now Snickers air dribble gets called out by Squillum. Now Squillum, 0 boost, still trying to get that follow-up shot and that 50. Equo taking it slow and low, just like he should. Now needs to outplay the last defender, but Squillum was able to get back in time. This is an absolute thrasher of a match. Now coming out from Evolve,
what a time for a goal! What a time for a 2-goal lead! It's beautiful from them. The infield pass works so beautifully, and that is why Unleashed Gladiators have been in control ever since the start, ever since the first second. The infield pass goes through as Evolve Skylight still just trying to find something that they can cling on to, some sort of a goal here in this game. Gladiators just aren't letting them. As this one, high from Chills, trying to find a fair one, but I dunk down the field. Chills will catch up to it in time, and Unleashed Gladiators at this point now just trying to prevent Skylight from getting really any chance to score any goals here. But here comes a shot, and Borbus tucked it in, a back post sling, and Evolve Skylight still have hope with 50 seconds remaining on Forbidden Temple.
Absolutely. That's just slightly unfortunate to see from Squilliam and Venom. I think they were both just low boost and just barely not able to make that save that they needed. But now 1-2, 40, less than 50 seconds remaining. You got under a minute. You got to score now, but Squilliam wanting to close out this game number 2 and put them 2 up in the series, making the scoreline 3-1 off of a great kickoff goal.
And again, it's that midfield. It's always been that midfield here for Unleashed Gladiators that has been the difference, that has been able to create havoc here. And Evolve Skylight, where they want control. That's how they play. They want to have dominating control. They can't get it if they don't win the midfield. And Gladiators, well, they have full control. And for Skylight, the real question is, going into game number 3, whether they win or lose, is how do you stop this Gladiators team from winning the midfield so easily? I mean, is it demos? Is demos going to be the answer for Skylight? Because it might honestly help them here. Who knows? There's so many different ways they could potentially win the midfield. Panda, what do you think is the path Skylight should go for to control this game a little bit more?
You know, I think you honestly, like you were saying, just go for those demos. You got to go for those demos. You got to get rid of those, first two men in the front and midfield, because if you don't, then you're just going to be overran. Obviously, Gladiators have more confidence. They have more pressure. They are absolutely dominating Skylight right now. I know the scoreline seems close, but seeing field domination, Gladiators 64% compared to Skylight's 34, way over half field domination going over to the side of Gladiators. A little bit of a 50-50 on ball possession, but you gotta, think about what Skylight is doing with that ball versus what Gladiators is doing with that ball and how proficient they are being on that offense.
And already the statement has come out. The timeout has been taken here from Evolve Skylight. They do have a tactical timeout within their reach. They'll use it here. I think this is a pretty smart decision with the series as it has gone for them. Taking that timeout might help them here, and for now, things have looked pretty good for them, but going into, game number 3, I'm not surprised Skylight want a bit of extra time to talk things out.
Absolutely. And as Big Buns was saying, you know, 76 points coming out from Equo. That's honestly just, so surprising coming out from such a dominant player. That first man for Evolve really making that difference on that offensive pressure. And now not even breaking triple digits, having one shot. That is all he had to his name, and 6 demos. But demos don't really count for much until you get an extermination on the points. So it's just really unfortunate to see on the side of
As you get that minute here of time, they have a good amount of it that they can use, but we'll see how they work, how things work out here. That timeout, again, have been called. What are Skylight talking about? What do they need to talk about? I mean, so far this game, I think the real thing they need to do is just stop on these Gladiators holding that midfield. If they can win the midfield, this series can flip, and, well, they have a very good chance of winning because of it. But for now, they need to be able to do that. They need to be able to win the midfield, and right now, that has not happened for them.
Absolutely. I mean, like you're saying, if you gotta get that field domination up if you're Evolve Skylight, or maybe even if you don't, you just gotta make the most of that ball possession, that field domination when you have it. You saw a couple of good looks coming out from Skylight, but it just didn't seem like they were doing much with it. Like they'd get a couple shots here and there, but then it just wouldn't go very far, and then it would end up in the back of their net, or it would just go back in the hands of Gladiators for the next 2 minutes. Your Skylight, you gotta make the most of your offense, and you gotta make the most of what you're doing, or at least, do what you can to increase that field domination.
As the timeout now over, those 2 minutes are gone. That is what Evolve Skylight get here. After that Game 2 loss, they have a real heavy task ahead of them. Win 4 games with the potential of only 5 left. That is a tough order for them. That is a tall ask, but there's a chance they can do it. And maybe with this timeout, maybe things can change. We go into Game 3. Only Gladiators having control of the midfield so far. Can Skylight get an answer? That will bounce its way in from Borb. That timeout has already worked for them. Only 7 seconds later, and Skylight have found new ground.
Absolutely, just a little bit of an unfortunate miscommunication coming out from Gladiators. You really don't want to see that, but it happens here and there, like we saw in game number 1 Equal with that accidental pass to the other team. It happens. You just got to keep your head high, and you got to keep pushing, as there is still over 4.5 minutes of gameplay left.
Skylight coming in. Snickers to the top right corner. Another goal for Evolve. It's Snickers to take it, and Skylights must be feeling great now. This is something new. This is new pavement, and this is them getting the control they so desperately wanted.
Absolutely. If you're Evolved, this is absolutely what you needed. You need to take that early control in the field possession. You got to take early control in that offense. So that's another shot coming out. You want to really hold down that Gladiators offense, really minimize what they can do and how threatening they can be, because if you don't, you are going to be absolutely steamrolled over. But they are doing well enough to get that scoreline up early and stay ahead.
Here we go, more pressure coming in. Flick from Borb, that goes high across the off the crossbar. Nunley's Gladiators, they really need to get this ball out. This has been Skylight again, who have just completely stopped the momentum from Gladiators. That is what a timeout is used for. That is what so many teams use it for. And you're seeing it in effect here. Skylight continuing the big work, and now they are just putting in that fast style again. But it does feel like it's not as fast as last game. They're not trying to play catch up here to Unleashed Gladiators. This time, they're the ones making Unleashed Gladiators have to play up to them.
Absolutely. Now Chill's going for that little bit of a clear out, but Borb does not care, like his name suggests. And Equo trying to get that pass, middle Snickers shot, but it just goes over the bar. And Borb trying to follow it up along with Snickers. Snickers able to put it in the corner, but does not get the follow-up shot he needs. Equo flip reset over the middle, try and get a pass to Borb. Borb shot high. Squilliam has to get the save and now needs to clear it out, but Equal able to cut it. Definitely a lot better offense coming out from Skylight, and Gladiators really need to find their momentum that they had in games 1 and 2.
And, well, Skylight continuing the momentum, but Gladiators trying to slow them down at this point. I mean, we've seen what they've done so far this series. We know what they can do. So often teams can do well after the timeout, but it's about being able to do it consistently. And for Skylight, it feels like that initial momentum has started to slow down for them. And that I'm a little worried for that, Panda, because if that momentum goes away, this series is going to go back to normal, and that is when Unleashed Gladiators are their scariest.
Absolutely. Now Chill's on the offense, and Venom trying to follow it up. I'm getting mixed up trying to get the words out. Chills pass in middle, does not go anywhere. Eco trying to follow it up along with Borb, but floats right in the middle. Now Snickers having to make a save as to stop the shot. Chills with the shot just over Venom, not biting on that shot. Now Squilliam having to take it around to his corner. This is very dangerous with Borb on his tail. Squilliam pass down middle, makes his teammate miss. Snickers with the shot. Venom all types of twisted around. And now Evolve go up 3-0 with 1 minute and 58 seconds left.
And that's just a little bit of an awkward play in front for Unleashed Gladiators. That defense haven't really been tested back there all that much so far. And wow, it must hurt them as... Gotta say, thanks for the follows as well, everybody in here. Home Wrecker coming in, Shorty Poggers, Matt Scoops, Mini Panda, as well as the gifted sub from Thrifty. So again, thank you all so much for the support. I promise I do see you guys, all of you there, and all you're doing as, again, we're in game number 3 of Evolve Skylight. They want the series to be extended a little bit more, and well, so far this game, preventing all these guys from getting offense, that's also another thing I've seen from them that they've done so well. They've just stopped, the offense of Gladiators in its tracks, and that's a really tough thing to do with what we've seen from Gladiators already.
Absolutely. I think it's coming down to who's going to play their game better, who's going to play their offensive possession better, and it seems to be Evolve's game that's winning them a little bit better. They seem to be playing, like you're saying, that quick game a little bit better, maybe catching Gladiators off guard, like you were saying in the beginning of the game. It's about staying consistent, though, as it hasn't really slowed down in my opinion, but it's about staying consistent throughout the rest of the game, because teams can get very comfortable and they can start reading the plays and how they need to adapt, and if Gladiators can do that by the next game, then Evolve will be in trouble. But Evolve are not in trouble in this game as they go up 4-0 after Equo's shot.
Evolve Skylights again continuing their success here, continuing how they're playing, and I really hate to do this, guys. Chat, please, let's not harass people. Alright? I hate to do this. The reason I'm saying it on chat right now is because I've seen it all tonight. Let's not get into that. Alright, we've seen a lot of that. There's no one in particular I'm talking about. You all know who you are. Please, let's not get into harassments. I don't want to have to time out more people. As we're going back into the end of Game 3, Evolve Skylights in some incredible control. Quote, bumped away. Venom trying to get this one right now for Unleashed Gladiators. The real task is just to get one goal. Get one score. Something that can favor them. Something that can get them some momentum. Going into Game 4. This game is over. They will not be able to win, but if they get a goal, that might be enough of a kind of a switch for them. Where going into Game 4, everything can change back into their favor.
Absolutely. We see teams go up one game and then they just fall apart again. It's just up to Gladiators to be able to maybe stop that bleeding and get back to their original form. I think they maybe got just a little caught off guard by this new evolve offense. They need to not be so caught off guard going into game number 4 if they want to stay alive in this series and not have to use their timeout yet.
Well, they won't have to worry about that about Skylight again, and again, have used that timeout wisely. There's gonna be a lot more they have to do here. One game as great as it was, and it was an incredible 11 shots to 2 difference. But there's still a lot more work to be done. Gladiators have still have that offense. We know what they can do. And while again, that timeout may have slowed them down, it usually takes the teams about 2 games to really understand another team's playstyle. For Gladiators, we're at that point where they're probably going to start to kind of download Skylight's style, and with Skylight, that could be in big trouble.
Absolutely. If you are Skylight, you want to stay unpredictable. You want to keep hoping on the fact that Gladiators do not download your playstyle. And if you are Gladiators, you really want to download that playstyle and get ready to counter it and maybe, get back into this game, keep focusing. You went up 2 in the series, sure, but you can't lose focus. You're so close to that grand final win. You can smell it, but you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay in this game, and you can't get too caught up in the victories.
Yeah, it's only a single game. It's only one game. It's only the start of what could happen in the series. Evolve Skylight have a lot more that they need to do. They have a lot more they need to create here against Unleashed Gladiators. That offense from last game, can they do it again? Can they, keep Unleashed Gladiators back here? It's gonna be a tall order, but consistency is key in the grand finals. And for Evolve Skylight, this is their chance to prove the consistency is here for them.
Absolutely. Offense starting out strong for the Gladiators, but Equo trying to get on that counterattack, trying to get his numbers back up compared to that 78-point game 2. Now Chill's trying to clear it out. A little bit of a miscommunication on who was going to go for that ball, so it got pretty dangerous, but in the end it got out. Chill's trying to send it all the way back down, maybe forcing a ball that he doesn't have to. And he's still going to try and continue that offense for Unleashed. Venom shot just wide. And now Equo going to try and continue the offense, but gets demoed for hitting it off wall, making Chills a little bit awkward, giving Snickers enough time. And there's a lot of offense, a lot of physicality coming out from both of these teams already.
And you like to see that kind of physicality. You like to see these teams get aggressive, get in each other's face. We haven't seen it yet tonight from really anybody, and that feels a bit surprising that we haven't seen more demos because they're such a crucial part of this gameplay. And for both these teams, as aggressive as they are, as tough as their defenses have been, those demos could be that last key to unlock, real success, multiple goal-scoring opportunities. The demos could be a huge game changer here, and right now, all these teams have used them, but they haven't been able to use them well. That's what. Oh my goodness, that just falls in! Snickers will be given credit, a goal out of nowhere, but of all Skylights, we'll take it. They'll take anything they can get at this point. The series depends on it.
Absolutely. Squilliam obviously not expecting that. I don't know if Borg went for a bump back on Venom, making him awkward, but I don't think anyone coming out from Unleashed was really expecting that type of shot, and especially that shot to go in. So again, getting caught a little bit off guard, but either way, you got to keep your head high. You got to keep going in this series. You don't want to let the foot off the gas just yet, as there's still plenty of time and plenty of Rocket League to play.
Well, Skylight's looking to answer, but here comes Gladiators. What a shot. That one kept out. Now pushing up is Snickers in the midfield. Snickers to the sidewall. Again, get a second touch here, but he will miss it. Here comes Equo. That one to the back post, but it will stay wide. And Chills will be on it. Squilliam under the screen. I've seen a lot of people talk about him before this series, and for good reason. He has been that keystone player for these players. He's been the middle of their rotation. But now against Skylight, he's going to need to be showing up here as Borb down in front. It didn't feel pass will connect, and Skylight go up by 2. The scoring never stops here for Sky as that momentum continues to build on itself.
Absolutely. If you are Gladiators, you got to reset. You got to get back into this game, because we both have seen, Sporty, how deadly Skylight can be once they get their offense going. I think if Gladiators do end up dropping this game, they need to take that tactical timeout to stop this absolute onslaught coming out from especially Equo, as he gets a second goal, but definitely not his second participation in the offensive play.
No, it's been everybody. It's been everybody on offense. No questions about it. Evolve Skylight, it's not one player who's doing it all. It's everybody. It's a full team effort. It has to be at this point. It has to be in the grand finals. There's no other way to take down either of these rosters. Unleashed. Back the other way. That one's saved by a quote. Venom, still beat there in the air. Evolve Skylight, not done with free. They're looking for more, but on these players specifically, still just looking for something. A goal to take some momentum, something that they can be happy about. Because so far in these last kind of game and a half, there has not been much that they've been proud about.
Absolutely. Venom trying to continue or get that ball cleared and try and start some offense for Gladiators, excuse me. But now ball dangerous, floating in front of net. Equo almost faked two of the back players. Now Squilliam trying to maybe fake out low, go for the shot high, but it goes nowhere. Venom with a follow-up. Middle, trying to get it middle for a team. Little bit of a triple touch there. Equo flick over one player, gets it over two players. Now needs to get a middle past the third player. Venom is there and waiting as we almost see a rule one between Boar and Snickers. That would have been interesting. And now two players from Gladiators pushed up into their corner or into the Evolve Skylight corner. And this is definitely a much messier and more rambunctious game coming out from Gladiators.
Yeah, and I think for Skylight, that's what they want. They like the chaos. They breathe the chaos a lot more here than Gladiators. Gladiators want to keep things simple. They want to keep things clean. The demos have worked against them overall here, and the chaos is favoring a Skylight team that is just breathing chaos. They've always breathed chaos in these kind of matches, and here in this one, you can see it's full chaos. It's unpredictable where this ball is going to go, and for Skylight, they're happy with that because they trust themselves to get to it. But that's a big clear downfield. It will go wide as Skylight nearly got caught with an overcommit.
Absolutely. Now Squilliam trying to maybe get that ball out of their corner, go for some offense. 50 Snickers, ball over with him. Now Snickers controlling the ball in the corner, but Venom is able to clear it out. Borb over to the middle, is not able to meet Snickers quick enough. Equal with a quick follow-up shot, but Borb able to catch the ball off the counter attack, able to get it around Venom all the way down to the Gladiators end. And I think that Evolve Skylight have taken game number 4. Double tap follow-up shot just wide, but we reached the final 10 as it is a little too late for the Gladiators to start having some offense now. And if I were the Gladiators, I would take the timeout to stop this absolute monster that is the Skylight defense.
Oh, it's been both. Let's just be honest. It's been both.
Yeah, both.
It's been both. That has been that strong for Evolve Skylight. Again, just a complete turnaround here. That momentum building and building. And for, as I said, for Unleashed Gladiators, if they let this get out of hand, this could become really dangerous for them. But we'll see if they want it. There's teams that don't call it as, yeah, already. They've called it. They're calling the timeout here. And that means, that means both timeouts already used here.
Absolutely. And if your Gladiators has a very good call coming out from Gladiators, because again, even if you're like, okay, you know, even if you're not going to change anything, let's say you're not going to change anything, take a breath. You are looking at Gladiators. They're absolutely fumbling and scrambling, just like Skylight were in games 1 and 2. You could just see the panic in the way that they're playing against Skylight. Skylight, like you were saying, breathing that chaos and absolutely steamrolling through Gladiators. Last 10 minutes, over 10 minutes, Gladiators have had 0 goals. That is very unlike the Gladiators so far. And honestly, it's a little disheartening to see, and you gotta hope that this timeout does something for them.
A reminder, they have that advantage having that last timeout, so again, after this, there are no more timeouts, meaning this is a big moment, not just for Gladiators, but also for Evolve Skylight, because they too have time to talk. Now, they don't want this timeout to happen at this point. They wanted to, you know, continue that momentum. That's a little bit easier said than done, and now against Unleashed Gladiators, Gladiators have their chance to now take the series back into their own hands. They had that initial momentum coming into this matchup. Looks like that now they can potentially try to end with some late momentum. See if they can make it. Tied series. Essentially now a best of 3, but Panda. I mean, this again, this, as you said, a good call from Unleashed Gladiators. What do you think they're talking about right now?
Honestly, I think they're talking about how are we going to stop the Skylight team and how are we going to regroup as a team? How are we going to find what we did in that game 1 and 2? How are we going to recoup as a team and really take down that Skylight offense? Because Skylight can be a very deadly team on offense, but in games 1 and 2, Gladiators really dominating that midfield, really finding out what they did well and how to stop that Skylight offense. So I think they just need
Yeah.
to talk about and find what they did there.
Well, we'll see what they can bring here. That timeout is over. Unleashed Gladiators using it here. They've been to Game 7, they've been to late series before. This one has the guarantee of at least a Game 6. So, Panda, you have predicted the series correctly. It is going to go to at least Neo Tokyo. We'll see, though, if maybe even Champion Field now it will be put on the map. But so far, this Game 5 important because this determines match point. And Unleashed Gladiators off of that timeout will love to have an early start. Squilliam on the back wall looking for Venom! Drop down in front. Unleashed Gladiators, 10 seconds gone. And they've done what they couldn't have done in the last, as you said, over 10 minutes straight of gameplay. They put one past the Skylight backline.
Absolutely. You love to see that coming out from It's Venom Gaming and Squilliam. Squilliam, I thought he was going to get that double tap the way he was lined up for it. And then Venom able to follow it up and get that goal. That is a amazing start if you are the Gladiators. Finding that momentum, finding that early onset offenses. That's another shot coming out from Venom Gaming. And then follow up from William. This is the offense. This is the possession. This is the aggression that we've been missing from the Gladiators.
Gladiators, feels like they've been reborn here in this one. That momentum's back, that confidence is back, that teamwork is still here. But Skylight looking to attack in front. Chills will send it out. Well, Skylight not afraid to continue their offense. It's worked so far. Why wouldn't you change it when it's been working? Unleashed Gladiators, that defense, again, coming alive as well. Can they keep Skylight out a little bit easier? Getting on the back line. Chills with a great dribble. Borb just trying to slow this one down. Skylight right now giving up space. They're trying to see what guys will do. Instead of maybe trying to control this one a little bit more, they're just clearing it away. They don't want to have this ball on their own half so often. And Gladiators just giving them multiple plays where they have to keep that ball out. Is now shot on. Snickers with a block. And evolves Skylight again and again now. Really beating us on that back line. Something that has not happened in the last 2 games. This is a good demo. Equal to the back wall. Venom will get there. And Skylight will get another chance. Snickers! Saved by William. And that one kept out Gladiators. Some close calls, but their confidence still at a sky-high feeling.
Absolutely. If you are Gladiators making those saves and especially having the offensive pressure, so that's a great demo coming out from Chills. You gotta feel great. You gotta feel high right now. If you are the Gladiators, you are playing like a grand finals team. You are playing like you want to win this entire thing and like you are the better team. Like was said by Vert or Ventrity, this is like 2017 LeBron. They are going absolutely peak on the offense and defense right now as they are the peak team.
So far, though, it's a 1-goal lead. All they've done, all the, as you said, peak play, it's only been able to work in a single, solitary goal. And that can be taken away, stripped from them very quickly here if Skylight play their cards correctly, as they look to do here. Borb in the midfield. Chills keeps it out, equals the side wall, bouncing up high. Squilliam first to it, above Skylight, looking for more offense. Squilliam with the dribble. Now he's gonna get one more touch. Stickers will keep it away. His offense has not really shown up yet so far, as Skylight just haven't been able to get chances to walk in on that net, to walk in on getting offense. Then these Gladiators back the other way, who are just trying to keep them out as Snickers. The dribble, 1v3 ahead, and that flick will go wide, and it's an easy touch for Unleashed Gladiators as well. That back line holding down firmly as Skylight, chance in front, this one a double commit off the crossbar. Unleashed Gladiators watched as that ball helplessly went just wide of the net, and Skylight can't believe what they saw. That was nearly a tie game.
Absolutely, but now Gladiators on a very deadly counterattack right now between Chills and Venom. They really want to get that ball into the back of the net. I love seeing Chills absolutely go peak in these air dribbles and these passes between his teammates because he is a very mechanical player. He reminds me a lot of me, but Equote wanting to capitalize on an overextended Gladiators defense, and now we are back to that tied game, minute 32 remaining.
And hits off like those Hits like those off the sidewall can be so deadly, can be so deceiving. You see Venom Gaming there, it looks so simple. I can assure you it is not. It's a tough read for anybody to make, and with the pressure, this high, no wonder he's feeling the stress. No wonder he's feeling the play against him as Skylight now back the other way. Been able to silence a lot of what Gladiators have wanted to succeed in this game. They couldn't get the offense working as well as they've wanted to. Skylight's continuing to try to bully their way through the Unleashed backline with shot after shot, play after play as Borb to the ceiling. That one will stay wide as Squilliam. Can't get a piece of it. Now Will. Is that clear? Going towards Borb off the back wall. Chills will be first to it. That touch stays high. Evolve Skylight. Maybe another play on offense here as he quotes to the corner. Venom does hit it away, but in comes Snickers. Up and he goes. Snickers to the back wall. Second touch, drop down for Borb. He's missed. Equals. Stopped by Venom Gaming. Oh, Skylight still searching. Dunk in front. Borb fights for extra yardage. And off Skylight with an extra goal in their favor.
Absolutely, just like the meme is fight and win. And when did Skylight do, as they are now up with 40 seconds left? It is still 1 goal, so anything can happen, even down to the last 0 second, as long as that ball stays up in favor of Gladiators. But they've got to score quickly, and they've got to score now. And as I have said in previous games, when I said that, then the other team would score. So you know what, but Chills trying to shut me up. Great demo or bump play coming out from Venom, opening up Chills on that great air dribble. And now we have a tied game with 20 seconds left.
The communication on points. Unleashed Gladiators finds a tied game. They find another shot. What a bump on the back line. What a play there. This series continues. 20 seconds or so to go. This one coming down to the wire. Borb got another. 2 goals for him. The most important 2 goals of the season.
Oh, that is deeply unfortunate. If you're a Venom, you cheated up, but just cheated a little bit too hard, and the ball just went right over your head. Squilliam not really expecting that ball to go towards his net. That is very unfortunate, but now we see a similar kickoff in the favor of Gladiators. Chills on the offense. He's very deadly, trying to get a pass down middle. Squilliam meeting him, but it doesn't go. But his back off the backboard all the way down towards the midfield. Can they get it? Little tip from Borb to keep the ball up, but away from Gladiators. Borb with the bump away, and Evolve Skylight will take game number 5 and go on double match point.
Man, it's been a while. It's been a long while since we've had a team take match point, but it is an Evolve Skylight who do it. Dropping those first 2 games now. 3 wins straight. And a reminder, no timeouts left. This timeout didn't work for the Gladiators. It was one where they had that early offense, but Evolve Skylight, man, they had a lot of grit and determination. They really fought through there. And now, the series in their hands. They could end this one in Game 6, but for Gladiators, they're looking to see if they can force this to Champions Field to a do-or-die Game 7.
Absolutely, and that would be an amazing Game 7 to see, not even just for Grand Finals, but, to have my first time casting back with you, Sport, to go into a Grand Finals Game 7 for the Ascend Cup, to see which team has truly ascended above the rest, to see which team will be the whichever season Ascend is on.
This is 0.
Season 0 Ascend Tournament champions.
Yeah, again, this is our first time we've had that Ascension Cup, and man, it's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to those last moments, those little plays, those little adjustments. Neo Tokyo, here we come! Evolve Skylight, a chance to take the tournament, a chance to be crowned! But this requires a full amount of effort. It's been an exhausting night so far. Can they end it here?
Absolutely, as Gladiators going to get on that early offense. It's an open net, but Chills just shot too high. But follow-up shot coming out from nowhere. Snickers accidentally pushes that ball in. It may have been already going in, but he just pushed it into the back of the net. Unfortunate from his side. Yeah, he just tipped that past Borb's head, but very lucky, or very fortunate for the Gladiators to go up by 1 within the first 18 seconds of game number 6.
Well, as you've heard, fortune favors the bold, and there's no team more bold at this point than the Gladiators. With your backs against the wall, they've seen this before. They've had to fight back from positions we saw in that round 1, going to a game 7 against 5 CE Dream Team. They've had to do it before. They can most certainly do it again. Evolve Skylight, trying to find more offense. Venom Gaming, off the corner, trying to keep it away, but in comes more. The shot goes off the back. Snickers! Skylight! An answer in waiting!
Absolutely, that is an amazing answer coming out from Snickers. That was a great play. Both teams really just wanted to get a solid footing. The Gladiators really want that solid footing on defense, but the Skylight gave them no chance. And Snickers going to shoot that ball in the back of the net. Snickers being the absolute amazing player, Equal with an open net, and he gets the triple tap. Equal absolutely ascending in Game 6 finals.
It may have looked silly, but Equal will make it work. At this point, it doesn't matter how they go in. It just matters how many. Evolve Skylight, a 2-1 lead here in the first minute of Game 6.
Great to see coming out from Skylight, but Chills wanted to get the follow-up play. Backboard down for someone else, but Snickers was there to cut it out early. Snickers really being the difference maker for Evolve Skylight as they are on, again, a double match point right now. You'll love to see that from Snickers. He's absolutely peaking, absolutely showing that he is a top-tier player. A little bit of a mix-up on the back line, but it does not result in a goal for Evolve. As at this point, the way that this series has gone, that could have been the dagger for the Gladiators.
Skylight still searching, still holding offense. Unleashed Gladiators did a chance, and that's it! Down the field, the way downtown! Bang! Chills ties it at 2!
Absolutely, that was an amazing shot, an amazing play, an amazing challenge coming from Chills. All these players ascending to their absolute peak form. And though I will remind you, Sporty, maybe having a little bit of mic issues there, cutting in and out.
Did the mic cut out on me?
Yeah, I cut out a couple times.
Oh dear, the mic's having issues. I think I might be screaming a little too loudly here, but man, can you blame me? It's been so hyped, that one! Nearly waiting for Venom. Squilliam, saved by Borb, it's across the goal, and yet still, somehow it stays out. The defensive Skylight just seems to know what they're doing. But man, it's been close. Here comes a shot. Equal finds it. Evolve Skylight, another 1-goal lead. Whenever they get knocked down, they bounce right back up.
Venom just pushed a little bit too far up and not in that proper defensive positioning, so he got caught off guard from Equo's shot, and it just snuck right by him. Honestly, there's been a lot of these goals, and like I was saying from the very beginning, it's going to come down to who's making those defensive mistakes, the small mistakes, down to the smallest challenge, down to the smallest, inch pushed up in reaction time. And that is what it has seemed it has fallen to, but we still have over half a game of Rocket League left remaining between these two teams.
5 goals combined from both these sides. 5 goals, and yet still, as you said, over 2 minutes left in this one. Anything can happen. It's Rocket League after all, and it is ATS. And Unleashed Gladiators as well. They'd love to be the ones that can hold control here, that can push up the field. Can they take it? Squilliam, calling his name. He's been that one to get the clutch plays for them. Can he find the pass? He does find Chills. Snickers in towards the corner. Skylar looking for more. Snickers won't get to it. Venom will clear. Here comes Unleashed Gladiators back the other way. Venom Gaming. Taken away by Borb. Chills on the back wall, bump in front. Squilliam won't challenge to it, and it will be sent long as Snickers wants a second, but he won't be able to take the beat on Squilliam. Here comes a follow. That's done wide. Unleashed Gladiators. Searching still, searching far and wide. That goal eludes them for now, but here's a chance for Chills. That goes high. An open depth miss. Unleashed Gladiators. That was their chance, and yet somehow they don't capitalize on it.
Oh, that has to be heartbreaking if you are Chills, making that Cinderella story, and when you are counted on the most is when you absolutely fumble. You can't be making those types of offensive mistakes in the grand finals, just like these defensive mistakes as the entire back line is open. Venom, no boost, and no one back to defend, and that may have been the dagger in the hearts of the Unleashed Gladiators.
Can they respond? So many tournaments are marked by these comebacks, these situations. 1 minute, 16 seconds, 2 goals down. Unleashed Gladiators They need to think of something because they need to think of it soon. Because here comes
Oh
Zekrom!
no!
A flip reset past the board above Skylight, stylizing on top of the Unleashed Gladiators net.
Equote took that game to 78 points personally. He was like, oh, people are going to start talking trash about me. Oh, people are going to start commenting on my points. Well, let me show you how I can put on points and how I can absolutely peak in this tournament. And absolutely peaking he is, especially in this game number 6.
For Unleashed Gladiators, it makes a task that was already seen as difficult even tougher, even harder. They need a lot more, and Snicker's not giving it too long. It's goal 6. Skylight is running away here.
And you know, this is just what we've been talking about with the Evolved Skylight. You let their offense get too powerful. You let them run with the ball way too long, and they're just gonna punish you. And that's what they're doing. They're just steamrolling over Gladiators as this game is surely over and in favor of Skylight. What we thought was going to be an absolute domination in the beginning now looks to be a game 6, which is still great coming out from both these teams, especially coming out from Gladiators.
Yeah, the Cinderella story, it was one that was going to be tough for them from the very beginning, from the very start. And at Skylight 2 are just going to add another to it. Snickers with his third. They're rubbing it in here against the Gladiators with 17 seconds to go. Evolve Skylight now taking their victory lap. A deserved victory lap here as well with how long they've been playing. Tonight, I should say. With this season as Evolve Sky came in as one of the scariest teams in this tournament. They're going to exit as the champions. 10 seconds left, but it's already been confirmed. A 4-2 series win. Skylight's unbeatable, unstoppable here in the Ascension Cup. No question about it. They are the champions here, and they are incredible.
Absolutely, as the ball hits the ground, the clock has hit in 0, and Evolve Skylight are your season 0 Ascend Cup champions. They are the team who has ascended above all others, the team who has been shown to be the absolute essential and amazing peak team in this Ascension Cup.
You say it there, they've been that top team from the very start. No one could beat them. All these Gladiators got close, but still, close won't cut it. Skylight, our champions, our winners here, and what a way to end it. This was a playoff system that felt kind of easy for them at the start, but I don't think anybody can complain about it anymore because they had a tough matchup against Unleashed. They're proving here they deserve that trophy.
Absolutely. And great game coming out from Unleashed. You absolutely can't fault them for how they played. Again, making that Cinderella story and making it all the way to the finals against a team like Skylight and taking that game, the first 2 games in such a dominant fashion. I mean, it's just absolutely peak to see coming from them. And you love to see that Cinderella story coming from Gladiators. It is a little sad that we saw it come to an end in a game 6 fashion, but hey, I was still able to call it in favor of a game 6.
Yeah, you did predict very well there. Like, I must give it to you. That was definitely impressive to do it that way. As let's go chat with the Skylight roster. Let's go get them a little, post-match interview here. As now joining the Skylight side, a 4-2 series win. What a performance! What a win! You guys are champions. You've done it before in many different tournaments, but this is your first time in ATS. And Snickers, as team captain, it's been a long jersey. You've been here since the very beginning. How does it feel to hold another trophy under the Evolved Skylight name?
Oh man, I couldn't be more ecstatic, man. We worked so hard to get to this point, and shout out to a quote and Astro for helping us in the playoffs by being our super subs, and also I gotta shout out my boy Excite. Without him, we wouldn't be here. The team is just insane. We're all cracked, and I couldn't be more happier with the result, man. I mean, it just goes. Oh my gosh, I can't. No words. No words.
Absolutely. That is a great response, and I also have a question of my own for the power sub equo. How does it feel being, that last minute substitute and then just coming in and absolutely dominating? It seems like after that game 2 where you got those 78 points, you seem to have taken that personally because you absolutely popped off the next 4 games.
Yeah, I just came in thinking I want to be like scoring much. So I just wanted to trust my teammates. Hopefully they'll be there, and they did. They were there, and I could just honestly have no words. I was just happy that my teammates are just better. I don't know what to say.
Well, sometimes saying nothing is the best thing to say in one situation. I mean, you guys have been incredible. You guys have been, working as brilliantly as you have. To add on to that as well, Borb coming in. You've been here all season long, but it's been a lot of questions on this Skylight team on, what's going to happen here, on what's going to, be able to make an adjustments, what's going to, be able to get you guys that extra level. You went undefeated, but there were some close calls in this grand finals, definitely included in that. So, I mean, can you tell me, about, how this roster's worked and how you've been able to work with the roster as best as you can?
I got sent from the thing.
Warp?
Well,
There you go.
oh yeah, I got sent from the chat really quick. Okay. No, honestly, timeout call was crucial. We knew that they had momentum. We had to break it, and we had to get in our momentum. We need to get in our rhythm. Calls and the timeout were crucial in this whole series. I think it proves just how adaptable we are. We've been saying it the whole season. We're very adaptable. We can work with anything. And like I said at the beginning of the series on Blue Sabres, if you were there, we started as a snowball and we turned into an avalanche. Okay.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Great answer there. And, I got asked what was going through your head when you were going through that timeout. Because, Gladiators, they were absolutely dominating the field, dominating that midfield possession in games 1 and 2, leaving you guys scoreless for those first 2 games. Then you absolutely came back and fought back. So what was going on during that timeout? What was going through your head? What did you think that you needed to change?
I can't tell you my secrets, man. Come on. But no, pretty much. Borb suggested a timeout call, and we all agreed. We took a couple seconds of silence, and then I just asked the guys what we feeling, what we got to do to win, because I'm not trying to lose, obviously. And we made our adjustments. We decided to be a little bit faster in the midfield, go for a bit more demos, and our kickoffs just were in our favor those last 4 games as well. So that's pretty much it. We never really got too down. We kept the spirits up. It almost felt like we were unfazed. We just kept, putting each other up, lifting each other up, and just getting hype after every goal. It was a madhouse in this VC. I'm telling you.
Oh, trust me, we were getting pretty excited for every goal as well. And Snickers, I'm going to ask you another question here. Man, we've always, it happens every single season. You guys always know we have to announce one. MVP this season. Congratulations, Snickers. You're our Ascension Cup Season 0 MVP. So, just you gotta tell me now. Now that you have that, now you have another award to now have under your name, as well as being Ascension Cup champion. Tell me. Reflecting on the season as a whole. Now that you are MVP, now that you've been labeled as the, as the best player in the playoffs. Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to talk about? Looking back on the season.
Man, first and foremost, I gotta shout out my guys, man, my team. I mean, I couldn't have done any of this without them. From Borb, Xi, Astro, Equo, and Frenzy. I mean, they just enabled me to play my game and allow me to do what I do best. And I couldn't be more thankful to have these guys as my teammates. And yeah, it just feels amazing, to be honest. So starting the season, I had so much to prove because we had lost the previous season in the playoffs, and there's just nothing more I wanted than to win a championship. And winning an MVP, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Thank you so much if whoever decided that. I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be. What's up, Chills?
Chills has joined us. Hello, Chills.
Hello, Chills.
Boys.
Chills
Awesome series. Appreciate the game.
Thank you.
It's an awesome series.
Oh, 50's joined as well. Everybody's joining in.
Alright.
We're partying in the VC.
Everybody's wanting to say hi. We might as well here at this point. But again, congratulations on your win here, Evolve Skylight. That 4-2 victory, a Grand Finals champions. Again, big performance here. I know Astro's also here though, and I feel like Astro, it wouldn't be a real true interview if we didn't get to talk with you because you had your moments in the playoffs. I mean, talking about the whole kind of the playoffs as a whole. What do you have to say about the entire season so far?
Well, I only know about like 3 days of the season because I just joined very recently. But yeah, my teammates are amazing. The quote is a super sub, like they said, and yeah, probably better than me, so I can't pick a better guy to be in the finals.
Of course, is Panda. You have any last things you want to say? Any last questions?
No, I just want to, say thank you and congratulations to all of you guys on Skylight for winning and Chills being in this VC. Congratulations on your team for making it to the grand finals and that making that Cinderella run. I bet you and your team will do great things next season along with your team's Evolve Skylight. I wish you all the best and thank you for allowing me to cast your match tonight.
Thank you for casting, both of
Of
you.
course. Well, hey,
Thank you
it's
so
my
much.
pleasure. It's our
Thank
pleasure
you.
really here. But of course, before we go, you guys, we're not done yet. We're gonna get some shoutouts. We always have to do it. You guys are champions. You deserve it. The time to do it. So let's go down the line. Let's start with Astro.
Oh, shout outs to more Snickers quote for taking home the W. Shout out to Coach Frenzy, and yeah, that's all. And shout out to you guys for casting.
Of course, as now we'll move on to Iquote, the super sub as they called you. You might need to keep that name for next season. But of course, is there any shoutouts you have? Any last things that you want to say?
No, I just want to give props to my team, and my coach. I love them, Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now we'll go to Boar, being, on this team for the whole season. Is there anybody that you want to thank for helping you get this far and for now allowing you to ascend to the first place finish?
Thank you to my family for coming out tonight. It's fun. Love you guys. Thank you. Also, shout out to Evolve as a org for facilitating us, getting us in here together, being able to play together. Shout out you guys for casting again, and shout out to Thrifty in here for setting up this, and you.
Of course, and we'll end things off with Snickers, MVP of Ascension Cup Season 0. We'll have another one, don't worry. I might as well just leak it out. We are going to be doing another Ascension Cup, so that'll be exciting. But with this one now kind of nearing its close, Snickers, any last things you want to say here as the captain of Evolve Skylight?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my team, my teammates. Couldn't have done it without them. I'm so happy with the result, man. We worked so hard this season, and for it to finally come to fruition. Couldn't have asked for a better result. And then shout out my mom, shout out my stepdad. They always watch the streams. They always support. It means a lot to me. Shout out Evolve. Shout out Vert for being a great owner and always supporting us. Shout out Sporty and Panda for casting, doing a wonderful job. Appreciate you guys. And then I heard there were some haters of Skylight in the chat, so I just want to shout out them for fueling us to win the finals. And that's all for me.
And well said, Snickers. Well said. Again, congratulations on your win here, Evolve Skylight. And obviously, as tradition, 50's also here with us. 50, to kind of close things out, is there, anything that you want to say here?
Listen, all I want to say is what a first season of Ascension Cup action. I hope to see some of these teams return next season because not only are we running it back, we're adding the Apex Cup. We got a whole thing coming. It's only going to get bigger and better. Congratulations, Evolve Skylight. You deserve it. You ran the table, didn't lose. You guys deserve to be crowned champions. Congrats to you guys. Congrats to Unleash. Congrats, coming in from the wild card phase and kind of doing your thing over there, then coming up and literally shocking everyone yesterday, beating 5 CE. They haven't lost all season, and then making it to the finals today. You guys deserve all the praise as well. But again, shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Nola Flight, for making this possible. And of course, thank you, Unleash. You guys are the reasons why these boys get paid tonight. So we appreciate that. But again, like I said, I'm just hyped. I'm excited. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Sporty. Thank you, everyone else that helped run this behind the scenes. but we're gonna run it back. Sign-ups start on Monday, Christmas Day. So while you're waking up and opening those presents, don't forget to sign into Discord, sign up your team, because that present can be delivered down the road and you can become a champion yourself as well, as long as you guys sign up. Gonna run it back, like I said, same prize pool for both Apex Cup and the Ascension Cup. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. It's just, it's the dream that we've had of making this and kind of where we're at today, and seeing kind of all teams throughout, the community just come together and support us. We wanted to do things small, do things, family oriented basically, and just kind of invite people. And we've kind of grown into this thing. So couldn't do it without you, Sporty. Couldn't do it without you, Meister, and Citrus, and all the other staff members that we have. So I'm a little choked up a little bit because I'm just proud. I'm proud of everybody. We put a lot of effort into what we do here, and it shows with all the love we've been getting. So thank you everyone for following. And yeah, we're gonna run it back. The official Ascension Cup Season 1 and Apex Cup Season 1. Apex again being GC1, GC2. If you guys don't know, we're gonna run that. We got some fun stuff in store with RLSS as well, so stay tuned for that. And it's just, I'm just excited. The future is great. This game is not dying. I don't care what the developers and anyone else does to this game. I am not going to let this scene die, okay? I swear to God, I'm not going to let this scene die, not for the amateur scene as well. So I'm here for you guys, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, it means a lot. Wow, what an ending to the season. What a season it has been. And again, Pan, I know you've been sitting there idly, not saying anything, but I need to give you your time. I always give co-casters their time at the end of these streams. So any words that you want to say here, any last messages?
I mean, it's just been great casting with you, Sporty. It's always great coming from, doing these small casts and Rocket Underground to doing grand finals of something like the Ascend Cup. It's always just an honor, and I really feel like I went to my bag this series with you. It's been amazing. Me and you complement each other in the casting booth so well. It's always a pleasure casting with you. I just want to say, thank you to people like my mom to allow me to cast. She could be absolutely like, no, sit down, do chores, do whatever, and not let me cast. But she gives me that chance to really make myself known in this scene, and I hope to make my self and my name a little bit bigger in the casting scene. Hopefully, along with yours as well.
And thank you all so much for joining, and again, thank you for the comments, by the way. Here, it's very nice from you, Pandas. Again, I want to also just thank all of you who have stuck around for the end of the stream. It really does mean a lot that we've had so many of you be so supportive, be there throughout the entirety of the season. It's been a long road. It's had its bumps. It's it's had some trips and some falls, but overall, we've been able to stand on top here at ATS. Again, thank you all so much for joining the Ascend Tournament Series Ascension Cup. Here is Season 0, Season 1. Again, the sign-up starting on next Monday, only a few days from now. So, actually, exactly a week from now. So, man, what a you guys need to sign up for Season 1. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be better. And dare I say, if you think you've seen it all right now in Season 0, you haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg just yet. Season 1, so many returning names already. So many new names coming in. We're probably gonna even have qualifiers for it as well. Just everything. Season 1 is going to be bigger, it's going to be better. You guys, if you like what you see here, continue supporting ATS, continue supporting the Ascend Tournament Series, because obviously we're going to continue doing this. Of course, I'm Sporty FC, one of the guys who runs this 50 from 50, Meister, myself, all the staff members, Panda here joining me as well. Thank you all so much for joining the Ascension Cup Championships. Of course, as always, here, follow the Ascend Tournament Series motto, rise beyond limits. We'll see you all when the next season begins. Until then, take care.
Take care, everybody.